Minnesota is filled with a plethora of unique towns with charm. From the plains-based towns in southern Minnesota to the Pine Lodge towns in northern Minnesota and everything else in between. There's plenty of great road trips to do. What I love about Minnesota is the fact that visiting each town and each city is not about just visiting a small town, just because, another one down, check it off the list. It's really about choosing what you want in a town, since there's so much variety of scenery and vibes from one town to the next. Also, you can choose specific themes for each road trip in Minnesota. Not just saying, I want an outdoorsy type adventure, but you can get hype-specific, like doing a fall colors road trip or a waterfalls specific road trip. The options are endless and totally worth it. There's actually a lot to see in Minnesota. Hi there, I'm Kyle from viatravelers.com, a blog focused on destinations from around the world, as well as travel tips, itineraries, and travel hacks to help you explore more of the world for less. I've lived in Minnesota for nearly all my life and have had the great opportunity of exploring a number of different towns, state parks, cities, landmarks across this great state over the last couple of years, and thought I'd share some of my favorite road trips to do in Minnesota. Number 1, the North Shore tour of the towns. The North Shore is one of my absolute favorite road trips to do in Minnesota. It combines nearly everything you'd want in a road trip, which includes a scenic drive, a major city in Duluth to stop at before you embark on your scenery, small town stops along the way, and of course, those excellent state parks we all know. North Shore is a national scenic byway that starts shortly after Duluth and runs right along Lake Superior. There are a ton of beaches to visit along the way, such as Cobblestone Beach, Brighton Beach, and of course, the iconic Pink Beach. For this road trip along the North Shore, make it about stopping at the beaches, but then also make this into a tour of the towns. Along the North Shore, you can visit some of the best small town gems of Minnesota, including 2 harbors, Castle Danger, Silver Bay, Lutsen, Grand Marais, and even Grand Portage, if you can make it that far. Plan your tour around cabin hopping along Lake Superior to 1, relax, but also see the sights, see the towns, and meet the locals. Number 2, visit New Ulm for Oktoberfest. New Ulm is a small town with a ton of German history. Founded by a group of German settlers from the once small town of Ulm, Germany, this small community is living up to its name with lots of festivals, libraries, and historic churches. The beautiful streets of New Ulm are decorated with German-style buildings, most of them built over 100 years ago. You get a flavor of this type of culture by visiting the iconic August Bell Brewing Company for Oktoberfest. New Ulm hosts one of the largest October festivals in the entire United States. I visited during Oktoberfest, and I must say that Shells knows how to put on a true Oktoberfest. It definitely lived up to my expectations, and that's coming from somebody that loves German culture. But while you're in town, don't forget to visit Hermann the German, an iconic landmark in Minnesota that stands towering over the town of New Ulm. You can even climb to the top of Hermann the German. This town makes for one of the best day trips from the Twin Cities, since you get there in just about 90 minutes. Number 3, LANESBORO, Minnesota, and the Root River Valley. LANESBORO, Minnesota is a beautiful small town with Victorian homes and friendly, welcoming locals. This is one of my personal favorite small towns in Minnesota, given its charm, nestled right in the middle of the Root River Valley, and the fact that it's known as the bed and breakfast capital of Minnesota. LANESBORO is just about an hour and a half from the Twin Cities and is a quick drive from Rochester, which makes it a great spot for a weekend getaway during the summer months, or even a quiet escape on a cold winter weekend. LANESBORO is also one of the most romantic small towns in Minnesota and also offers great spots for small weddings or even photo shoots. The town has quaint shops, local restaurants, and intricate architecture, which makes it a perfect backdrop for a day out. If you love outdoor adventures, this is an excellent destination for you to visit and a road trip that you need to take. The Root River Valley State Trail runs along the town, which means you can bike for miles. Or there's local outfitters right in the town where you can rent a canoe or kayak and paddle down the Root River for as long as you can go on a summer day. Number 4, take a road trip to purify yourself in the depths of Lake Minnetonka. Yeah, I get it. If you live in the greater Twin Cities area, you might be saying, is Lake Minnetonka really a road trip? It's probably not a full-on road trip, but it can be, given how expansive the lake is and how many hidden gems there are around the area. You can easily have a staycation around Lake Minnetonka by staying in Excelsior and visiting one of the many nearby towns like Victoria or Waconia, or craft up a brewery and winery tour of both Excelsior and Waconia, respectively. Alternatively, you can visit the north end of Lake Minnetonka of Wayzata and tour the towns surrounding that area, like Orono, Hamel, Long Lake, Medina, Maple Plain, or even St. Bonifacius. Not to mention, Lake Minnetonka is not just about boating or ice fishing. There are plenty of parks to visit as well. The expansive Three Rivers Park District offers camping on one of the many islands, hiking, and bike trails that can go out hundreds of miles. There are a ton of options for you to do. You just have to be open to trying something new or different. Number 5, the Great River Road Trip. The Great River Road is another national scenic byway in Minnesota. Like the North Shore, this road trip is probably one of the best road trips in the entire country. The Great River Road starts right in the center of Minneapolis and runs along the Mississippi River Gorge and goes on for a few hundred miles. This road trip is just like the North Shore, but instead of being in northeastern Minnesota, you'll be in southeastern Minnesota. This road trip features some excellent towns to stop at, including Hastings, Red Wing, Lake City, Wabasha, and Winona. You get a chance to see the scenic transformation of the Mississippi River into what turns into Lake Pepin, where Lake City, Wabasha, and Winona all reside. Not only that, there are a ton of great outdoor adventures, including the legendary FRANCONIA State Park, which features hiking trails, beaches, and sweeping views of Lake Pepin. Each attraction on this road trip offers something unique. For example, Red Wing offers its historic charm and the history of Red Wing shoes. Meanwhile, Lake City lays claim to fame of the birthplace of water skiing, and Wabasha features the National Eagle Center and the home to the movie Grumpy Old Men. Finally, Winona offers the Marine Art Museum, which has an expansive collection of Picasso and other historical and monumental art. Being all these cities are located on the river or Lake Pepin, there's a ton of great boating, kayaking, fishing, and canoeing. This road trip is a must-do for any visitor or even any local Minnesotan. Number 6, visit some of Minnesota's best state parks along Lake Superior. Okay, back to the North Shore. This drive is just too good to have only one feature. On this road trip, I suggest you plan your itinerary around what I like to call State Park Row. As you drive north from Duluth along the North Shore, there are several state parks that are so truly iconic to Minnesota. In the order of, from Duluth heading north, Gooseberry Falls State Park, Split Rock Lighthouse State Park, Tetagouche State Park, and you must see Palisade Head. Temperance River State Park, Cascade River State Park, Superior National Forest in the Boundary Waters, and if you make it this far, Grand Portage State Park, which borders Canada. Not to mention you have some of the best hiking in the United States with the Kichigami Trail and Superior National Hiking Trail. Each place in State Park has excellent camping options. You can make the trip into a camping and hiking excursion. The best times to go that will blow your mind in scenery are autumn for the fall colors, or the springtime after snowmelt to see the many waterfalls like Gooseberry Falls, the high falls at Tetagouche State Park, or even the high falls at Grand Portage. If you have extra time to plan and willing to go out of the way, be sure to stop at Voyageurs National Park in central northern part of Minnesota, where you'll have sprawling lakeside views, excellent camping, and maybe you even might want to rent a houseboat along the lake. Number 7, visit the close gems to the Twin Cities like Hastings and Stillwater. Hastings is a small town that is located right on the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin and sits on the meeting point of 3 different rivers. This town is a great stopover spot along the Great River Road, of course. Hastings features parks, a hopping downtown area, and some excellent restaurants. Another town that borders both Wisconsin and Minnesota, but located in an entirely different area, is Stillwater. Stillwater is located in Washington County and is not just one of Minnesota's oldest towns. It is the oldest town. It was the first incorporated city in Minnesota. Stillwater is actually located on the St. Croix River and borders Wisconsin. The town is home to both beautiful architecture and nature. It is a must-visit place for foodies and anyone looking for one-of-a-kind shopping boutiques. And being that Stillwater is the first city of Minnesota, this is a great place to visit for history buffs too. Make sure you stop by the old warden's house and the Washington County Courthouse that sits atop the historic Main Street. Stillwater and Hastings have many similarities, and both are great day trip options from the Twin Cities, because you can get there in under an hour. But I suggest staying the night and exploring everything that each of these towns have to offer. Number 8, visit Schaefer, Franconia Sculpture Park, Lindstrom, and Taylor's Falls. You can visit all of these close locations in just one road trip, as they're conveniently located around each other. Schaefer is a beautiful small city with great scenery that includes several outdoor activities like boating, fishing, and canoeing. And this town also features the quirky yet fun Franconia Sculpture Park. That is a completely free sculpture garden offering art and designs in a multiple-acre park located right off the highway. Meanwhile, Lindstrom is a Scandinavian sister city that features Swedish shops, bakeries, restaurants, and a ton of history about immigrants of Scandinavia in Minnesota. Finally, Taylor's Falls within this road trip is as many fun towns as it gets. It's located right on the St. Croix River and offers good times and vibes. Despite Taylor's Falls being a small town in Minnesota, it has some of the best tourist attractions that you would want. Interstate Park is ideal for trekking, camping, rock climbing, whitewater rafting, and mountain biking. Meanwhile, Wild Mountain Ski and Snowboard Center is one of the top ski resorts in the entire state. Number 9, visit the quote-unquote capital of southern Minnesota, aka Rochester. It had been way too long since I visited Rochester. I'm not really sure why. But when I returned, I was surprised and impressed. Rochester is the 3rd largest city in Minnesota behind Minneapolis and St. Paul. It's also home to the famous Mayo Clinic, as I'm sure you know. This southeastern Minnesota city, with a busy hospital and vibrant downtown, has a charming small town vibe, but is an actual city. Rochester is home to some great craft restaurants and some of my favorite breweries in the state. Given the history of the Mayo Clinic, Rochester offers one of the better art cultures and history that the state has to offer. An example of this is the Mayowood Mansion with its art, architecture, and sprawling gardens. Or even right downtown in one of the many Mayo Clinic buildings, they hold some of the largest art collections in the world. And this has been received by donors who have received healthcare at the Mayo Clinic. Rochester is an easy hour-and-a-half drive from the Twin Cities. You can make it into a day trip or a weekend getaway to explore some of these new and novel museums and even some of the old history that resides there. Number 10, go up north. Minnesotans use the term of quote-unquote going up north to generally describe, well, going up north. I don't know how to explain it, but when you say you're going up north, it is what it is. If you haven't met a person before and you say you're going up north, Minnesotans just get it and accept it. There's no questions asked even on where. But going up north means visiting the chain of lakes in the greater Brainerd area, along with Nisswa or even Pine River. Or visiting Walker for the Chippewa National Forest and the many lakes surrounding it. I'd recommend that. Even head further north to visit Ely and make a stop at the International Wolf Center, or have breakfast with the bears at Vince Chute Wildlife Sanctuary. This is a road trip that you need to take during those peak summer nights where mosquitoes are the size of small birds. But it's worth it because the stars, the loons, and timbering pine trees are like nothing else you can possibly imagine. Going up north is a rite of passage in being Minnesotan. And being that it's just going up north, it's your definition to create. You don't need a city. You don't need a landmark. And you certainly won't need electronics. Minnesota is a state with an abundance of road trips to take. Whether you're looking for the best scenic views, museums and art galleries, or outdoor activities like hiking, fishing, or boating, Minnesota has something for you. If you love travel and activities, join my free newsletter. I'll leave a link to it in this description below. If you enjoyed this video scenery that I filmed, please consider subscribing by clicking that shiny red button below the video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.